So I have this fantastic recipe that I'm going to share with you guys, and this is going to be one of my month meats.
Food of the Gods is a holistic health guide showing how I healed myself and how I continue to heal. Okay, ladies, so you're going to need a paring knife, a chef's knife, and your chopping board.
I've already done some prep work and made the Sebi, so now I'm just going to flatten it out as if I was working with some dough for a pizza. You just got to be careful so that it does not rip or get any little bitty holes inside of it. And if you don't know how to make seitan or gluten, then I'll have a link posted up top, and these cloves are so big. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we have here? I have some oregano or oregano. This is maybe about a teaspoon and a half. My dry chipotle. So I'm going to put that inside of my mortar. My kombu seaweed, and this is hydrated, and I'll put it over on the side. So all the other ingredients, I'll call them out as they're actually going to be needed. So I'm going to move that bar, and I'm just going to use my mortar and pestle and break all that down. So here's my chipotle. So I have my oregano and my lemon zest. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to zest one of my lime zest. Alright, so I'm going to just zest a little bit of it here. So I'm going to set that to the side, and I will, and I need to cut up my seaweed. Let's get my seaweed cut up. Now I'm going to get that in there. These are some, this is some dried out dill. I dried them out. And so I'm just going to crush it up in here. Not a whole lot because it could be a bit overpowering. And the liquid that came off of my seaweed, I popped it in my refrigerator. So this is the liquid that came off of it. Just put a little inside. That might have been like about a tablespoon or so. So just going to blend all that together. And this is going to go here. So it all goes down onto my gluten. Okay. Now, alright, so I have some noodles here. These are kamut noodles. And I cooked down about a cup of kamut noodles, and you can use whichever noodles that you want. The noodles are going to be sort of like a binding agent, and it adds flavor. And then you have your jackfruit. So this is some young jackfruit. Now what I'm going to do with that, I have my freshly little food processor here. And I'm going to put my noodles down in there. And I'm going to blitz them. So this is going to be a quick blitz, just a little crushing. Let's see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to chop it down. If you have like a potato masher, you use that. We just want it to be like lumpy potatoes. I'm not going to put that back in there. I could break it down more. So just get it all dumped out. Big gloves. There we go. That's the best potato masher right there, you knuckles. Alright. So that's broken down good enough. There you go. So this is what you want it to look like. You want it to look like that. Or it can be broken down just a little bit more. You just don't want it to be over mushy. And now, with the baby jackfruit, this needs to be shredded. Okay, so this turns out to be like 2 cups of shredded young jackfruit. And so what we're going to do now, just take all the jackfruit, put it in with your mashed up, put it with your mashed up macaroni. And we're going to need some seasoning inside of this. So some of the seasons that we use, putting on top of the gluten, goes in here as well. Just a little piece of dried chipotle. Now some more of the oregano. I have a little piece of garlic. If you don't want to use garlic, you don't have to, but a little piece of garlic, and that gets grated in here. There we go. Now, these gloves back on. Big gloves. Want to get all the seasoning off of that. Now, we're going to take all of that and put it in here. And we're going to mix all that in together. Now, this you can taste it for flavor to see if it's a little bit something more that you want to add to it out of the ingredients. You know, do your taste test. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's a little taste test to see how my flavor is going. I need a little bit more chipotle. Everything's cooked, so yeah, I put that in my mouth. Pop that in there. What I don't have, a little bit more dill in there. So I have my salt, some Himalayan pink sea salt. So we're just going to put in a dash. This is about maybe half a teaspoon. And then I have my This is going to be, I grind up my rosemary into like a powder. And so just going to put in about half a teaspoon. That's all that's going to be in there for now. All right, back on the big gloves. So, what are we going to do now? We're going to take this and I'm going to put it right there on our gluten. There we go. Now, depending on how you stretched out your gluten, it's going to depend on how much of this you can actually get on here. And you don't want to stretch it out so much like it's a pieces. It's pretty much going to be in like an oval shape. And you want to put this at least about an inch away from the ends. So, okay, so look at that. All right, now let's get that out of the way. It almost looks like it's a crazy pizza. Okay, so let's move my onion. All right, now, what are we gonna do now? We're going to roll it. And we're going to roll it pretty tight, and just be careful, but we're going to get this rolled up so that we don't get this ripped, because the gluten can rip. And if you need to use a little spatula, then use the spatula so that you can roll it and not rip it. So let's get this on rolled in. And it's sticking down, so use my spatula. Up. There we go. Let's get that up. Okay. There. There. Now, the ends of it, you're gonna kind of close these off. Now, they'll kind of close off on their own, but you want to sort of close them off. And then you take that, there we go, turn it over. So now, I need some saran wrap. I gotta do this. This will do it better. My saran wrap is gonna allow me to shape this a little bit better. And then we're gonna get some twine. Here we go. I'm going to need some extra virgin olive oil. Now, that allows it to stop from sticking. I'm going to let that sit. I'm not the best tire when it comes to doing this. So what is this looking like now? What is that looking like? Let's get it completely off of there. And we're done with that. I need to oil my surface so okay, so there it is, all wrapped up. And now I have my skillet turned on with some oil, and I'm getting ready to put this inside of it. Okay. So my skillet is on, warming up my oil. So I'm going to use a little bit of the sesame oil, just a little bit of sesame oil when I do this, because sesame oil can be very overpowering. So the main oil that I'm using is some rapeseed oil, and then I also have a little bit of olive oil inside of it. So I'm going to put a little bit of this in. Then we're going to pop this bad boy over in it. And all I'm going to do is just kind of crisp it a little bit all around, and then I'm going to take it. Alright, so over to the skillet. Alright. And the part that's going to go down is the open part, so that's going into the skillet first. Alright, so here we go. So I have the open part down first, just going to brown that on that side. Just get it nice and brown. Just not a nice little crust on it. And I'm going to turn it. See how nice and brown that is? I'm going to turn it. So this is going to help me to manipulate it. Okay, so I've taken it out of the skillet and just resting it over here because we're about to take care of everything else that needs to go in the skillet that this just came out of. So now we have some onions. This is half of an onion that I cut up, and this is a red onion, or you can use a sweet onion. So you're just gonna like cut it into slivers like so. And I have a piece of my dill down in there. It's not really big on my dried dill. And I have some black olives. This is maybe about a quarter cup of black olives. And I also have some lime zest inside of here. And there's some more of my chipotle flakes. And this is about a quarter of a cup of some diced tomatoes, some plum tomatoes. So all of this, plus I'm using some white wine vinegar. I don't have my white wine, what this is going to do. Yes, white wine vinegar. If I can think of a substitute that you use for this, then I'll mention it. But right now I can't think of anything. And then also what the lime juice is going to be used for. So all of this is going to go right over into the skillet where we're just taking our little mock meat out of. So over there, kind of. So I'm going to put in my onions. So that's the onions as well as the piece of dill and some oregano. Now this is going to be the lime zest, the chipotle, and the olives. So I still want to put a little bit more of the oregano in it. Oh, that smells so good. Just a little bit more oregano. For my tomatoes and put, it's going to be a little bit of the juice in here too. Turn the fan down a little bit, just a little bit too high. And I'm hoping that you guys are still able to hear me over that fan. Alright, now time for that wet worm. And pull that in. I'm going to let this boil. And it's going to reduce down. I'm going to try it a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Let me put the rest of it in. So I would really rather use white wine, but I have white wine vinegar, so I'm not putting as much white wine vinegar inside of it because it'll have too much of a hard bite to it. But the lime is what calms that down. So I'm gonna let that boil. So our log is going to go right in here. There we go. I cleaned this off. There we go. Turn the eye off. Now this is going to go in the oven, and it's going to be in the oven for about 2 hours or so, and it's going to be covered. Can this top cover? Yeah, it can. That might coop it up. I'm thinking that's going to coop it up. So I'm going to put this inside of my bigger pot. We're gonna pop on the lid, and that is going into the oven. Okay, so let's set the timer, bake time. I'm gonna throw that in for 2 hours. This is gonna be a slow bake. And there we go. After 2. So with the kitchen, that gives you more space to cook in. You also got more space that you have to clean. So while I have that inside of the oven, I am just going to clean up my kitchen, and like magic, when I come back, it's going to be spick and span. Alright, so like I told you, just like magic, when we come back, everything is going to be completely cleaned off. So, the only thing left to do is to show you my finished dish, and I hope you're very nice. Doesn't that just look scrumptious?